Welcome back to the desk of the WGL North America. We are getting ready for our third best of 5 of the day. This is Season 2 qualifier action in Clutch. We have had 2 teams advance thus far. Nobody has yet secured a spot in Season 2 of the league. But we got a couple of heavy-hitting, hard-playing, strong-looking contenders.
That's right, man. A lot of adjectives to accurately describe these different teams. High Voltage looking very, very strong against Lego Tank Division, and Refuse to Die, losing the first battle but coming back on top in that draw scenario throughout the series, playing on all 7 maps. And they were able to hold their own. Refuse to Die, again, as we talked about, they executed well, but they need more polish. And with that polish, this team can be at least top 5 into the next season, as long as they, I believe, practice with the best. That's some of the training they're going to need. And a bag of kittens, fun guy to talk to, was always a great sport during Season 1, and I look forward to seeing him in Season 2 if he's able to make it.
I'm actually going to make the statement that if Refuse to Die came into WGLNA Season 1 like that, we would have seen them in at least the playoffs. At least the playoffs, if not the top 8. They're definitely...
I agree.
They looked much better than what we saw from them in Season 1.
Yes.
I still think we need to see them put a few more of those pieces together. I think they're missing that one final piece, which is the killer instinct. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. They need something to...
They need someone to say, okay, go.
Yeah, they need something to be feared, right? Because right now it's just Shadowbox. They keep going up and then they back up. They keep going up and backing out. And they need to one day just say, we're going to brawl. We're going to come from where you think we're going to come from, and we're going to win that battle.
It's like when you're learning to box, okay? If you're going to be a boxer, you're going to get hit. And it might take hours, it might take days, it might take weeks, but you're going to sit in there and you're going to spar and you're going to get close, you're going to duck back, get close, you're going to duck back, but eventually you got to wade in there and take a few shots if you're going to be able to do any damage back.
And a lot of the skirmishing, you don't just join a map and play with 7 guys and go, hey guys, that was fun. You go, let's focus on brawling. Let's focus on 3 and 2 positioning of our heavy tanks across the map if need be. Let's focus on these specific things like you do in almost any sport, especially football. Let's focus on the screen. Let's focus on this audible in order to get that honed in. And yeah, Refuse to Die needs that, but I'm looking forward to see what the Black Watch and Simposaurus Rex are going to offer here to the qualifiers, because I don't know what they have to offer. This could be an amalgamation of a bunch of guys that got together and said, hey, you know what, let's make a team. Let's just go for it and see what we could do in the qualifiers. Or this could be some definite hardcore pub stompers that said, there's money to be won. I'm good at heavy tanks. You're good at a T69 positioning. Let's get some other really good guys together and focus and hone our skills and do well.
We do know that Simposaurus Rex is another Simp team. Simp, one of the largest, most successful clans in the World of Tanks universe.
How did I not see that? How did I not? It's just right there. Simposaurus Rex. Sorry.
And last season, I think they combined, Center combined 5 teams into WGLNA Season 1. Simp Main, Simple Tankers, Simplistic, and River of Blood, also a Simp team. Yep. That's 4. That's not 5.
Well, now it's 5.
Now it's 5.
And now it's 5. Possibly.
And all
if
those
Simposaurus Rex can qualify.
No, that would make it 6.
How so?
One of the, not only Simplistic, but another team, I forgot which one now, was
Simp Main, Simple Tankers, Simplistic, River of Blood.
And there's one of the ones that qualified yesterday. I don't know. I heard it today.
Game
Rukill
over?
said it. I'm not going to.
No. Okay.
Okay, yes, game over.
All right.
No,
we'll have to ask.
I know there
and
were
see.
some Simp players that played yesterday, but I don't think they were full Simp
We'll get
teams.
Rukill on that. Rukill.
Yeah, we'll put our lead Simp statistician on the job.
Oh, when it comes to representation of American clans, SIP is one of the top ones. I mean, they are, I believe, the biggest clan out there, at least one of the biggest.
There are several large clans out there, but Simp is probably one of the most large, active, and well-recognized dominant clans out there.
Well represented. They're very well represented in season number 1. And one of the things about Simp is the leadership of Mac G, and this was mentioned when he won MVP for season 1. So many people came to me and said, I completely agree with him winning because he doesn't take a percentage of gold when their team wins as the leader. He just dishes it out to everyone. At least that's what they told me. And everyone respected Mac G. They appreciated his leadership, his decision-making, and it all fit to everyone that he would win the MVP award.
Yeah. Recently, Mac G and I and a couple of the guys went out to watch a movie called Kick Butt 2. You guys might know about
Tofu Smurf, one of you guys?
Yep, Tofu Smurf was there, and he told me that movie was awful. And do you know what I said from that? I said, thank you,
I
Mac
hope
G.
you said Tofu Smurf, you're dead to me.
No. Mac G said that.
Oh.
And
wow.
I said, Mac G, thank you for being unbiased because it was a terrible movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, but I did see Tofu Smurf.
That's how I know Mac
at
G.
PAX, and he had a great time.
Mac G just calls it as it is. He doesn't
well,
sugarcoat
especially
anything.
when he's focused. If he's dead in
yeah.
the game and he calls it as it is, Simp will win. What was the percentage? 70% of the time? 60% of the time?
Yeah, 70% of the time, when they lose, he dies. He doesn't die at all. They leave him alone.
He doesn't die at all, or he doesn't die first.
Yeah. If you kill him, then they have a ridiculous win percentage.
So you want to keep Mac G alive.
Keep Mac G alive, but
Yeah.
It's like some weird
It's like Obi-Wan.
RPG buff where when Mac G dies, buff team with plus 70% win rate.
If you strike me down, I should become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. That's exactly what happens.
he
with
is.
Mac G.
He is. He's the Obi-Wan.
All right. Well, we are just a couple seconds away, I believe, from at least no, we got a little bit more time here. Map's going to be on Ensk, and
Some very interesting tank selection
an
shaping up here
152.
from the Black Watch guys. We're seeing T-29s, SU-152s. We're seeing some. Basically, we're seeing 6 tier 7s.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because the T-29 line is so bad, right?
No, it's not bad at all. And the T-32 is actually a slimmer and better T-29. You know, have you ever played the Korean map yet on one of the tanks? I was playing it, I think, for the second time with the T-29, and there's this pathway and then a mountain to the north side. And in the T-29, I started going up the mountain slowly, very slowly, but nobody caught me off guard. And I went to the top of the mountain on the path and swung around, and there were 3 enemy tanks there, and I just started unloading on them. And they're like, oh, man, that was the greatest flank ever. And said, thanks. I'm still learning the map. It was just a shot in the dark. But it was a lot of fun.
I did the same thing, but with my IS-3, and I dealt more damage.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Cool story, bro.
I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome.
No, I really like the T-29, but it took a while to adjust to how to play it.
Yeah.
Especially the T-29, the T-32 line, even the T-34 premium tank.
What do you guys think in general about tearing down a little bit? The T7s, you know, some people are saying like, oh, maybe it's worth it, but let's be honest, a lot of teams are saying, no, the Tier 8s are 10 times better. What are your thoughts on that a little bit?
Penetration. It all comes down to the penetration that different shots can do, and that's going to, for me, the #1 thing between a Tier 8 and a Tier 7.
Okay.
Hands down.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step into game #1 of match #3. Again, Black Watch versus Simposaurus Rex. Let's go ahead and get into Ensk.
Well, you know, I hate to say this, but this is just kind of the way it is. The Black Watch has queued up with too many tier points. 48 tier points represented means they have officially forfeit this first map. You are not allowed to queue with more than 42 tier points. That's the deal with 742. So yes, you can queue with 6 tier 7 tanks, but if you do that, you have to bring a tier 0. And they did not do that.
No, they did not.
No, you can't. You can't.
You actually can't do that because if you queue with 6, you have to have 42 minus 1.
Yep.
So.
Well, it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate.
So, well, I mean, I don't think we have to. We can sit here and watch what happens unless everybody realizes what's up and they're just going to drop. I'm waiting for some word from an administrator. But the official ruling is that, or the rule book states that this should be a game 1 forfeit in favor of Simposaurus Rex.
Is that a large 2 from season 1?
Yes, that is a large 2. Also, guys, Simposaurus Rex is the red team here. The Black Watch is the blue team. So that is incorrect on the scoreboard. But I am quite certain that 48 tier points is too many.
Yeah, you've done the math. That is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6 more. So, like you said, Ben, we're just going to wait out the admin to contact us to tell us, yep, that is correct. But I want to mention there is a tank destroyer on the field, the You
152.
152, which have not seen that much play in the American side for World of Tanks. But let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful tank. And there it is.
There it is. There she blows.
Yeah, but
that's Bush, and that is Tank.
And there's an owl, if you didn't hear that. On the game sound, that was really cool. But the positioning right here for this tank destroyer completely locks down any approach coming from the north on the east side. This is a really great spot to deal lots of damage initially.
Yeah, a phenomenal spot if your team is queued with the right number of tier points.
And if only one tank, there's that owl again. If only one tank moves out, 2 tanks move out, you will get a guaranteed kill, but you will go down yourself. And if it is not a high roll, or if it is a bounce, that could be really, really bad, especially to start to
come to my screen real quick. Look at the graphics in this game. My goodness.
That's pretty.
You see this? What am I following?
Eagles.
Look at that rendering. That's so sick.
Yeah.
I've been following them the whole game now.
Do you think the birds ever poop?
Oh, you follow them long enough to find out.
All right.
All right, well, let's...
So we're going to bring it on back to the desk here as our admins are letting everybody know in-game what is up. We're playing 742 format.
Not 748.
Nope.
Now, occasionally in these open qualifiers, you do have teams that come sign up, perhaps not completely familiar with 742, not 100% positive about what how it all goes down, how many tier points there are allotted to bring. Some of these teams probably spend their time playing in clan wars and skirmishes and things like that, where it's just bring however many tanks you want of a certain tier, not a limitation, and the stipulation that you probably have to bring a couple low-tier tanks as well. So we're going to just make sure that that message gets passed on to everybody participating in this particular match. For now, I think we have no choice but to wait out the game timer, as we are trying to
get out of the game.
We are trying to get everything passed along. We're going to kick it into a very short break. When we return, it will be battle number 2 with Simposaurus Rex leading 1-0. Guys, please don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the desk, where the Black Watch did venture beyond the wall, where they are allowed to bring more than 42 tier points, but on this side of it, you are not.
You know you're not ventured outside the wall.
It's a bunch of wildlings there.
Oh, they know nothing. Sorry. So, unfortunately, I wanted to see the SC-152 in action, but let's see if they actually bring it again.
It might come back. It might come back, as we are still waiting for the Black Watch to choose the next map.
It has to be next map, right? We cannot play on Ensk again. So, with that in mind, Greetorp, I want to further expound a bit on the moving down to the tier 7s, because we actually saw a couple times the WZ-131 being chosen, and then Bison because of the tier 2 to tier 3 point difference, and really didn't pan out very well with the execution. Do I still think it could be a viable strategy? I don't know, because the performance of artilleries has yet to be proven because of time and the investment with these different teams. I would like to see it, though.
The problem with doing that, though, is that it's so much easier to reduce the damage of those tanks, right? Like, you might come with an IS which has just about one more or one less shell of hit points than the IS-3. But what you're actually suffering is a little bit of pen, right? It's about 20 pen or so. And you are suffering, like, well, what is that one extra point really going to get me, right? Yeah. I can do a T2 light, not really that worth it, right? T2 light, sometimes it's going to be brought for having that overmatch against the T1, but still they can be taken out pretty easily by other T8s.
Even a lull tractor.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of ways to go ahead and kill that T2 light. So you can't really empower anything else with that extra tier point. Now, you can say, let's go tier 7s for everything, but you know, the Russian line is one thing. I think the difference between the IS and the IS-3 is very, very small. But as you look at the other ones, the 131, I think that actually kills you a lot more just because of its health pool that you have. If you look at something like a T-71 over a T-69, that is a dramatic difference. Yes, it's 6 shots from the T-71, but it's 840 life. It is so brittle. Seriously, you flick that thing and it's taking damage. So when you look at all the other classes, all the other nations, I don't think the tier 7s stack up nearly as well as those tier 8s.
I think it's very true, and that 1 point difference can mean so much when you stack up the potential differences of so many different scenarios.
But guys, Jumbo Sherman, tier 6.
Yes.
Now we're talking about something where we can do something.
This is one of those outliers
Yes.
where you have a tank that has like tier 10 armor on the front and not anywhere else.
Would you rather use the howitzer or the 76?
It doesn't matter. You have infinite time.
If you're doing 25 damage per shot, it's okay because you'll never die
You'll never die.
with proper positioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I would actually choose the 76.
I would choose that derp.
Yeah. Because as much fun and awesomeness you will have, if you need to land that shot against some T1s capturing your base, I'd rather have a faster reloading 76 than a slower and less accurate derp.
Well, let's compromise. Let's go 4 derps,
Okay.
3 76s.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
I
Solved
agree. I actually
Solved it.
want to
No
do
stars is going somewhere, guys.
that. This time I want to play. We'll have somebody else commentate. But it was a lot of fun to watch you guys, and even the dog match after that, which was a special surprise. But that was really neat. And the death race was a lot of fun too. Really enjoyed
I'm
it.
pretty sure we can blame everything on Rootkill, though. Rootkill had some crazy strategies, and none of them worked every single time he called.
Yeah. Who did lead the no stars?
Junior.
Junior did.
When Junior led it and came up with the strategies, we crushed. 100% win rate. That's what I'm going away with.
The 2
100% win rate.
Poor
No
Ruko.
stars.
Well, Rootkill, you guys can catch more segments from him on a lot of how-tos with Roo as he shows you some of the different tips and tricks to learn some of the ins and outs of the games. Plus Green Torp as well, man. You're working on some more segments for season
The
2.
Torp's
Tank
Tank Tactics.
Yeah.
TTT.
Say that 3
Torp
times
tank
fast.
tactics.
I'll be doing some more garage segments. One of the tanks I'm working on right now is the AMX 1390, which we see a lot. After that, I'll be working on the WZ 132, which I'm really a big fan of. And it's actually because of the traverse speed, the highest value for traverse speed in the game, and also its turret traverse speed, which it can switch targets pretty fast and get that surround pretty fast. And I actually want to play that tank a lot more to see how different members of different teams can counter it compared to the AMX 13100, or the AMX 1390.
You know, Fulcrum is very vocal in saying they don't like the WZ 132 or the Chinese series 131, 132. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I prefer 1390. I think 1390 in the hands of a skilled player is always going to outperform a WZ 132 in the hands of an equally skilled player.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what map?
No matter what map.
Okay, that's one thing, though. But what if you maximize potential on both tanks?
I think that well, it depends on if you mean maximize potential of an individual or maximize potential of a team.
No, maximize potential on that 131, 132 overall. Just like who's going to, or what tank has a larger influence, assuming perfect play?
Again, I'm gonna go 1390. Although my one sticking point here is the turn radius of a 1390 is a little bit slow, so it loses some in mobility. And I love high mobility play, but I think that's something that you can account for in the hands of a high skilled player who understands the limitations of his tank.
I'm gonna stick with the WZ 132 because of its accurate on the move fire. But yes, I will acknowledge because it's not an autoloader, that's one of its biggest cons. And it could be a completely equal match, but that's what I'm going to stick with for now. I could be proven wrong with more research that I do.
So you're saying not being an autoloader is a con?
For going up against another autoloader, it can be.
Well, it's such a it's
But
an interesting
IS-3 and
dynamic.
T-32 are both
I
not
know.
It's a
autoloaders.
very interesting dynamic. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I think something that we haven't seen really explored is high alpha tanks like running 5 IS-3s. You know, it sounds so silly because they are going to lose over time in these long drawn out firefights. But if you can alpha somebody down, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So who knows?
4 IS-3s guarantee a kill. I
Yeah.
mean, that's awesome.
So anyway, steps to our next map. We'll talk more about our crazy theory craft when we get into game. Let's do it right now. All right, here we go with Simposaurus Rex versus the Black Watch. And Simposaurus Rex, the red team, with A Large, Mighty Pillow, Fruitcake, Air News and Okeano, a mostly Simp team, up against the Black Watch, who have this time brought the appropriate 42 tier points.
That's right. The tanks they have brought is 3 IS-3s, a T-69, a Type 59, an L-Tractor, and a T-1. On the side of Simposaurus Rex, a Pershing, which I'm happy to see. Another T-69.
Shots already fired as Mark 894 is taking a lot of damage, and is he going to go down? Yes, he will. Great focus fire from Simposaurus Rex, catching that IS-3 out in the open and punishing some uncovered movement from the Black Watch. So this is, I think the Black Watch is showing a little bit of inexperience at this level, as KT Jester is immediately going to try to make the same run that Mark made previously in his IS-3, and Jester's already down to 750 hit points.
And he can't even tell where the fire's coming from, Ben. They're so well behind camouflage, he's going to go down in a matter of seconds as 1 or 2 more of these shells able to land. He does see the 1390 just over the hill.
Oh,
1 HP
one
left.
HP left. This is great spotting by Mighty Pillow, by the way, who is empowering these tanks to fire from a longer distance. He's the set of eyes in the middle that let his teammates do all this great work. So, hey, great play here out of Simposaurus Rex very early on. And immediately they take a big advantage. I don't know why in the world they don't just group up and push now.
Aero News is the one with the 2 kills in that 69. And the Type 59 and the T-69 for the blue team, which is the Black Watch, is going to have to move back in order to try to assess where the rest of the red team is for Simposaurus Rex. But they are able to spot one of the T1s all the way to the North Revelator. He does show, hey guys, we got some tier 8s moving into our position, and we're going to go ahead and unload on him. As Mog 76 takes a huge blow against this tank.
Yep, and down he will go. So we've got a little bit of fighting still taking place up near the flag of Simposaurus Rex, and who is in position to do anything about it? It's just T1s, Cinnabar and Revelator, forced to contend with this Type 59, who represents a very real nuisance. The T-69s have been sent back. Air News and Okeano are going to try. I guess one of those is a Pershing. Oh, and now Mog has been tagged. He's down to just 194 hit points. Mog about to go down, and he does bite the dust.
Crowd to the T1, we'll see Cinnabar, but Cinnabar has a little bit more HP than he does. 42 tier points. Shadow Realms, the Type 59, being surrounded by the T-69 and the Pershing. Just a matter of time until Simposaurus Rex makes the Black Watch extinct on this map.
Yep. Air News doing a good job of lighting up Shadow Realm, and now with only 156 hit point left, Okeano and that Pershing will finish the fight. All that remains is Worm and the L-Track, and that's an unenviable tank to be in when you're the last man standing.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult.
He can run away very slowly.
And he's going to pop over this hill. Cinnabar is able to see him in the T1. We'll unload a little bit more. And there's a final kill.
Just like that, Simposaurus Rex goes up 2-0 against the Black Watch, showing perhaps a little bit of inexperience in the 742 format. They still have a chance to bounce back, but it's going to be tough, as we are seeing some names on Simposaurus Rex that we recognize from Season 1. Mighty Pillow, A-Large. These are guys that have a reasonable amount of experience in 742 already, and that is very clearly translating to some good play here in this qualifier.
Were they on Simplistic? Was that the team that they were on?
I think so.
Yeah.
Simplistic did have a little bit of a few guys
structure.
breaking off, but you know, Simplistic still keeping it together.
Yeah.
And now we see that some of the offshoot of that might now be coming into the league with a new team.
Well,
I mean, very obvious outclassment right there with Simposaurus Rex. Just dominating that. The IS-3s, they have very poor view range. They're not good in open maps. And of course, you saw, one IS-3 go into a position, just straight up died. And then the other IS-3 said, hey, look, there's a dead tank over there. Let me see if I can go hide behind it. No bueno.
No bueno. Looking at the score screen, Mighty Pillow landing, or shots fired 6, landing 5 of them, only 3 penetrations, but because of the distance where those IS-3s were, not all of them were able to penetrate the armor. But one of the tanks, KLT, let me go back to the score screen here, one of the first tanks to go down, and even KT Jester, couldn't see where the tanks were that were hitting him. And because of the camouflage and because of the ratio of how camouflage works, hiding behind those bushes, be able to land those shots and
when
get
you're
the kills.
T-69 and 2 of your IS-3s combined for a grand total of 0 damage. Ooh.
That's tough.
No bueno.
No bueno. No bueno.
Ouch. Ouch is what that translates to. Looks like Mines is going to be our third map, potentially our final map in this series. We're going to have to take a very short break before we jump into it, guys, but don't go anywhere. We got a lot more qualifier action still to come. Simposaurus Rex, map number 3 against the Black Watch. That's going to be followed by Forgotten Legionnaires versus Brigade du Diable.
You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
Regada du Diable.
okay. Okay. So we're going Spanish, not French.
Well, it's either French or Italian.
Okay. It could be French.
Brigada du Diable. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it's Team 1. There's multiple teams of Brigada du Diable.
And Death from Above versus Hunter x Hunter.
That's English.
Our final match of the day. Interestingly enough, Hunter x Hunter made up of some of the old Cazadores players.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, we're going to throw to a quick commercial. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Lots more tanks still to come. Desk of the WGL North America season number 1.5.
That's right. Qualifiers are underway to determine which two teams will join us in the Season 2 group play, which will be happening later on this month. And to confirm, Brigada du Diable, which I cannot do in a French accent at this time, is
Brigada
French.
du Diable?
Not bad. That's what happens when Todd lives with you for a while.
Yeah. Hang out too much with Stefano.
Yeah. Brigada du Diable? Yeah, I sound too much
Just
like
get as nasally as you can and try to sound obnoxious.
Okay.
Are you going to cast some World of Tanks?
We are going to cast
Just insult entire country.
Speaking of French tanks, AMX 1390.
I think I did.
Oh, man. Let's wrap this up politically correct-wise. If you guys didn't know, the French had some amazing tanks in World War I. But
They also make great pastries?
They make a great pastry. Yeah. They were so... I keep going Italian every time. They were so overconfident with their technology. That's why Germany.
Is there anybody
steamrolled
else
them.
we could offend before we jump into
World War
Mines?
II. I don't think so. Let's go ahead and jump.
All right,
into
let's
that.
do it. Mines it is going to be. All right, gentlemen, here we go. Mines the map. Simposaurus Rex leading 2-0 on the back of some great play by A-Large, who is rocking that T1 Cunningham here on Mines. He's going to be doing the scout thing. I've always been a big fan of Simp's team logo. Looks really cool on the front of these tanks. Oh.
Indeed. Good big red stamp. Military. Confidential? No, it's Simp. Looking at the tank selection, IS-3s, T-69s, Type 59, 2 T-1s. On the Black Watch, IS-3, T-32, T-69, AMX 1390s, and T-1s for Simposaurus Rex. Defensive position with those T-32s. And now pushing on the east side, Greetorp, we see the Black Watch moving in that direction.
Well, it's a big east side push, and I don't think Okeano expected that at all. His 1390 got into an awkward spot, but he somehow jukes his way out of there and gets away without even a scratch on his tank. So that's some good driving and perhaps a little bit of luck as the Black Watch was unable to connect with any of those big and important shots. Good driving Okeano as he will retreat back to the cover of his teammates. And, you know, Simposaurus Rex doing the perfect reaction here, taking the hill. And when you control the hill and the other team is on the east side, ooh, it gets tough on that other team.
Yes, it does. But also one of the tanks on the side of the blue, the light tanks, either Crash or Worm, looks like it's going to be Worm, has spotted one of the red tanks. Moving across, it is Cinnabar moving all the way to the south on the water side, and they are able to spot some of the tanks on the hill.
Mark takes 2 big shots, 3 big shots, dropping all the way down to 523 hit points, 296 hit points now remaining, and wow, down to 89 hit points. That's some great T69 play out of Air News. He missed one of his shots. It might have bounced, but Mark is 1 shot from oblivion as his IS-3 has just been riddled with holes, legit taking a little bit of damage here as he's trying to return some fire of his own in that IS-3, but unfortunately not able to have any big connections. The Black Watch is in a really awkward spot down here on this low ground.
But too legit to quit from that position, trying to get some more shots across on Mog 76. KT Jester does take some hits as well. Shadow Realm moving to the north side. Try to reposition this flank, but it's not going to be very effective as Fruitcake for me takes down the T1. And if he does move around this hill corner, the rest of the red team, the rest of Simposaurus Rex is going to be ready for him. Simposaurus Rex already in a winning position, 42 tier point lead. And here goes Shadow Realm moving across that hill. Can he land anything in that Type 59? We'll find out in a couple seconds.
The Black Watch has finally managed to round that corner, so they are free of the worst of the focus fire. But it is far from over as we see Okeano catching Shadow Watch out of position. Okeano going to pile some good damage onto Shadow Watch. He's down to 21 hit points. One more shot, and he will go down. Great play in that 1390 by Okeano. Fruitcake for me. The other 1390 of Simposaurus Rex is in a good supporting position, and he's got a position on that T69. That's Oscar Meyer, and he's going to take 220 and 245 more, down to 510 hit points. Fruitcake might be able to take out Oscar Meyer. Down to 249 hit points is Oscar Meyer. Fruitcake taking a little bit of damage as well. Oh, a low roll. 16 hit points going to remain for Oscar Meyer. And Fruitcake might actually go down here. Oh, man, IS-3 too legit to quit, like you said, Clutch. Coming in on the cleanup. That's some great reinforcement, and Fruitcake will survive.
Survive because Mog76 had to reload, and there will go the final kill against KT Jester, excuse me. And that'll mean a victory and a base capture for Simposaurus Rex.
Yeah, some excellent play. They clearly were a league above the Black Watch. I'm curious to see how Simposaurus Rex is going to match up with some of these other teams in the qualifier. They certainly looked strong, but that could be a reflection on their opponents, the Black Watch. Black Watch guys, hey, don't get too discouraged. This is a good team with a lot of 742 experience. Keep practicing and come back for the second qualifier. I'm sure that you can put the pieces back together if you want to.
Hey, they have the experience now, and they can tell everyone in the World of Tanks community that, hey, we participated in the league. Yeah, we got knocked out in qualifier number 1, but we signed up for qualifier number 2, and we performed better, and I think that's what the Black Watch is going to do.
And that last game, or this game, you forgot to mention that Cinnabar was able to take out Worm, which actually says that there was fire on the Cinnabar Island. Do you guys know that reference?
No. No. What does that mean? Sorry.
I think I knew this reference.
What is it? People in chat know.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they will.
Oh, gosh. Forget it, guys.
Sorry,
Educate us.
Okay, it's Pokemon. Cinnabar
Yes.
Island is
Yes.
where the fire gym is,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Gosh,
yes.
and that's what they call it in the bottom left, Cinnabar, or excuse me, the island. So if it's Cinnabar's Island, Cinnabar Island fire, okay.
Which Pokemon was this?
Red and blue?
Yeah, the original Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's also where you would go up and down to get the little glitch.
Yeah, missing now.
Yeah.
I watched the TV show. Brock was cool. You know, I also really liked Okeano because of his positioning, but also his name. Because every time you would say it, Ben, I go, "Oh, Keanu," like Keanu Reeves. Oh man, I love this game. I love these players.
Big shout out to Legit. He played a big game. 8 shots fired, 8 penetrations, 2,389 damage dealt. That's some phenomenal IS-3 efficiency. Doesn't get much better than that. And of course, we also saw him in the clutch, looking out for his boy Fruitcake up on the hill with the reinforcement.
That's a hill advantage, and that's where you want to have that advantage. And when any tank from the low ground tries to approach you, they obviously can't aim up if they're moving so close to the hill. No tank has that type of gun elevation.
And remember, yeah, especially the T69, terrible gun elevation. That's not a position you want to be below the mines, below the hill rather. So that just added insult to injury, I thought, with that engagement.
Tough turn of events there for the Black Watch. Congratulations to Simposaurus Rex, who move on in this qualifier. Only one team from this qualifier will make it into the league. It's going to be very difficult here in the later rounds. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, our 4th match of the day, Forgotten Legionnaires versus...
Brigada du Diable. I still do it Italian. I'm trying to do it French.
Brigada du Diable?
Brigada du Diable.
There we go. We're getting there. I don't think they're French. I kind of doubt that
Well,
they're French.
they're Team 1.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with some more tanks.